In my gaming history, there have been several experiences that I just wish I could experience again for the very first time. In this series, I'll take a look back at some of the games I wish I could forget. When I think of my favorite gaming experiences of all time, there is always one game that comes to the forefront of my mind each and every time.
Maybe when your mother's finished mourning your father, I'll keep her in black on your behalf.
Let's do a deep dive into the aspects of the game that are truly industry shaking and why I wish I could forget them. If you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2 just yet, I highly suggest stopping what you're doing, pick up the controller and get going, because it is truly a remarkable experience.
Sure, well, come on then.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that I have replayed and I'll most likely replay again as soon as Rockstar provide current gen consoles with a 60 frames per second patch. Fingers crossed there's the support on the PC, but come on Rockstar, we need this on current gen consoles. Now, I'm going to start with the story.
All right, everyone, dismount and come to me.
The game explores themes such as loyalty, morality, and the price of freedom. And it does so in a way that is both thought-provoking and emotionally resonant. The game starts with Arthur and the gang on the run from the law. They're trying to survive in a world that's rapidly changing.
Here we are, gentlemen. Home sweet home.
The game begins with the gang fleeing after a botched robbery in the town of Blackwater.
Arthur and I were about to prosper in Blackwater. We were onto something big. Then Micah got you all excited about that ferry, and here we are.
The gang struggles to find their footing. They must rely on each other and their leadership in order to survive.
And remember, whatever it is that you find, the camp gets its slice.
Arthur, who is the protagonist, is a trusted member of the gang, and he is fiercely loyal to its leader, Dutch.
Now, it is time to prosper.
However, as the game progresses, Arthur begins to question Dutch's motives and the direction that he's leading the gang. Arthur's internal struggle is mirrored by the external conflict between the gang and the law. As the gang's situation becomes more desperate, Arthur must make choices that will determine his fate and the fate of those around him. It's a game that takes players on an emotional roller coaster. In the end, Red Dead Redemption 2's story is about loyalty, betrayal, and the price of redemption. And the game's narrative is masterfully created. Red Dead Redemption 2's characters are some of the most memorable in any video game. Arthur Morgan, who is the game's protagonist, is a complex and multifaceted character.
I'm sure everything will be fine, Miss Grimshaw.
Undergoes a significant arc throughout the game as he battles the world, the people he loves, his health, and his own moral compass. Throughout the game, Arthur's journey is one of personal growth and self-discovery. He must confront his past and come to terms with who he is, all the while trying to protect the ones that he cares about. At the head of the gang is Dutch van der Linde.
We have all made mistakes over the years, Hosea. Every last one of us. But I kept us together. Kept us alive. Kept the nooses off our neck.
A charismatic leader who is both respected and feared by his followers. He's a man with grand visions of a life outside of the law, and he'll do whatever it takes to make those visions a reality.
One more big score. We got enough money to leave. What are you saying?
Is a charismatic and enigmatic figure who is equal parts inspiring and terrifying. As a player, the further you progress, the more you realise Dutch's faults. He continues his pursuit of maintaining the old way of life as each and every turn seems to bring the inevitable ending to the old Western American frontier. Other notable characters include Red Dead Redemption 1's main protagonist, John Marston, is a former member of the gang who left after Dutch's plans became too dangerous for him.
If I don't get that boy back safe,
He's a man who's trying to start a life with his family, but he's constantly being pulled back into his old life of violence and crime.
I'm trying.
Are you?
I think so.
Sadie Adler is a recent addition to the gang, and she quickly proves herself to be a force to be reckoned with. A fierce member of the gang who becomes one of Arthur's closest allies.
I enjoyed myself out there.
Yes, Mrs. Adler did okay.
She's tough, determined, and not afraid to get her hands dirty in order to get what she wants. Hosea Matthews is one of the more level-headed members of the gang.
Quite a day.
A man who's seen it all. He knows how to survive. He's the closest thing the gang has to a father figure.
Of course I'm fine. It's nothing.
And his calm and steady presence helps keep everyone grounded. Micah Bell is one of the more divisive members of the gang.
Gentlemen,
Found anything?
A man who's quick to betray his fellow gang members if it means furthering his own interests. He's a cunning and manipulative man, and his presence in the gang is a source of tension and conflict. These are just a few of the characters that you'll meet in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. Each one has their own story, an incredible personality, and the game does an excellent job of fleshing them out over the course of the story. The relationships between these characters are at the heart of the story, and they're what really makes the game so compelling. You'll come to care about these characters, and you'll feel their pain, you'll celebrate their triumphs as you make your way through the game. In terms of gameplay, you'll spend a lot of time around camp, speaking to people, getting to know the many characters in this world. You'll engage with random encounters that will pop up as you traveling in between towns, in between locations, and it all happens really, really naturally. The combat in Red Dead Redemption 2 is a blend of third-person action and cover-based mechanics. You can also play it in first person the entire way through, which is really remarkable. The game's missions are varied and offer a mix of different gameplay styles, from stealthy infiltration to high-speed horseback chases. There are also several side activities to participate in, such as fishing, gambling, and even bounty hunting. One of the standout features for Red Dead Redemption 2 is the game's attention to detail. The world is meticulously crafted with a dynamic weather system, realistic animal behavior, and a day and night cycle. The game also has a robust morality system where your actions and choices affect your honor rating. Doing good deeds such as helping strangers or sparing the lives of enemies will increase your honor, while committing crimes and killing innocents will lower it. The game's story is also affected by your honor rating, as it can change the way characters interact with you and influence the game's ending. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that offers a deep and immersive gameplay experience. It's a game where you can really lose yourself in the vast and beautiful open world filled with danger and adventure.
Would you just look around you? This world has its consolations.
The game's world is alive with activity, with non-player characters going about their daily lives and wildlife roaming the landscapes. The attention to detail in this game is astounding, from the way characters react to the weather to the way animals behave in their natural habitats. The open world of Red Dead Redemption 2 is vast and varied, with a diverse range of environments to explore. From snowy mountains to lush forests, from swamps to deserts, the game's world is filled with stunning vistas and breathtaking landscapes. As you explore the world, you'll encounter a diverse cast of characters, from friendly townsfolk to dangerous outlaws. You'll also encounter various wildlife such as deer, wolves, and bears, each with their own unique behaviours and habitats. The world of Red Dead Redemption 2 is not just beautiful to look at, it feels truly alive. The game's dynamic weather system means that the world can change before your eyes, with thunderstorms, snowstorms, and fog all affecting your visibility and movement. The game's day and night cycle is also important, as it affects the behaviour of both characters and the wildlife. Bandits may be more active at night, while certain animals may only come out during specific times of the day. The world is also filled with various points of interest to discover, from hidden caves to abandoned buildings. You can also stumble upon random encounters, such as a person in need of help, or a group of bandits attacking a traveler. The game's world is not just a static backdrop, but it's a living ecosystem. You can also interact with the world in various ways, such as robbing trains and stagecoaches, or even gambling in saloons. The game's world is rich with detail, and every action you take can have a consequence. The world is not just a playground for players, but it's an integral part of the game's story. The world reacts to your actions, and your choices can affect the way characters interact with you, as well as the ending of the game. The world of Red Dead Redemption 2 is absolutely stunning and immersive to experience. It's a world that feels alive. Whether you're exploring the wilderness or taking part in the game's many activities, the world is a place that you won't want to leave. Rockstar continue to be one of the greatest developers the video game industry has ever seen. Their meticulous attention to detail, the time and dedication they take creating some of the best stories that you'll experience in games. Each of these points, the world, the story, its incredible characters, are all things that I wish I could forget so that I could experience them all for the very first time. What game would you like to forget to experience all over again? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you next time.
This place ain't no such thing as civilized. It's man, so in love with greed, he has forgotten himself and found only appetites.